Welcome back to the KOA Sports League.
Welcome back to the KOA Sports League.
Welcome back to the KOA Sports League.
We've got live broadcasts like you've never seen before.
Sinclair's holding them off. Cohen's off the front. Giuliano up the inside. Looks like Giuliano's going to time that attack perfectly.
We've got a pre-show like you've never seen before.
And in the race tonight, Alessio has a victim, and he's beaten him twice out of 2 times they've ever raced, and that's Yuri. So he's got the wood, as we like to say.
We've got live workouts like you've never seen before.
Seconds to go, 7 seconds to go. Start to grit those teeth, and you've just got to loosen the grip and push a little bit harder.
Performance verification like you've never seen before. Hang on. Whoa. Wait, hey. Mate, you're in the book. What's your Valentine? Right, you're in the book, mate. You're in the book. Kent Cross, you're in the book.
And it's all free.
And it's all free.
And it's all free. And welcome back to the KOA Sports League. I'm Greg McDermott, and tonight I am joined as always by Tim Ballantyne, and on the broadcast operation equipment, Mr. Kent Cross. How are you, Tim?
I'm going well, mate. I'm going well. Jeepers, have we got a line-up tonight in the KOA Sports League. And this week has just really hammered home how much I love customer service and people.
That's amazing.
No, it's great. We've got a lot of people tuning in to the broadcast, obviously, and we've edged over about 330 starters, it looks like, in the paddock tonight, A, B, C, and D. There's all sorts of stuff going on tonight, and, mate, cannot wait. And, of course, a great circuit. Oh, does it pack a punch?
This one's a toughie.
Pack a punch.
Only one lap, the Harrogate circuit. We're going to get to that in a minute. But first of all, Tim and Kappa. We'll say hello to Kappa in a minute. He's a little bit busy over there. But
Is he?
over 200 females now in the KOA Sports League. That is unbelievable. And a quick shout out to some of the big hitters on Zwift in the female category. Vicky Whitelaw, Hamilton Watts, and my favourite, Arrowsmith, joining us tonight, and a huge pack. We're going to try to stick with the front of that women's field as well as we go around, but being such a big paddock, we will do our best, Tim.
Mate, can't wait. And some of those names, you go to Zwift Power, of course, pre-race. If you haven't been to Zwift Power before, it's a nice place to sort of do a bit of research on your rivals, those sorts of things. So head across to there and check it out. But I think we've got about 20-25 riders with ratings under 200, Greg, which in the old scale, as they say, in the way that we measure performance, really strong. So some big overseas names as well. Looks like we got Vyarsen back in there, Alex West, and some big announcements coming as well, mate. So cannot wait to get stuck into it.
Absolutely.
But there's a
little bit of ice cream tonight, Tim and Kappa and everyone out there. Just a little bit. This is, and we build it up this series. So it's State of Origin night, ladies and gentlemen. So let's have a look at that. And big night, State of Origin, Queensland versus New South Wales, mate versus mate. It's going to be on like a donkey Kong.
Queenslander, baby, Queenslander.
Let's go every time. Hang on a second. If you're watching and you're in that paddock already, I've seen so many people in there already. Every time you heard the term cattle dog, you get up and you squash a cane toad.
Hey, Kappa, can you smell that?
Yeah, I can.
I can smell it. I can smell the fear. They
it's
are
pretty potent.
Shaking in their boots. Dear. But how good is it, Kappa, if you can put me on camera, if you don't mind? A bit of me time. We had here in Little Down Under, we had a great little presentation by Channel 10, and it went nationwide, putting e-cycling where it needs to be. We've been going on for a little while. Of course, a few little events happening in the world at the moment that have maybe thrust it front and centre, but there is an amazing group of talent and some amazing young Australian riders that you will get to see tonight, and also a couple of tour riders, if you don't mind, umpire, who'll be in there. We caught up with a couple of them just earlier today, and a little bit of banter. So let's go check them out, and we'll be straight back.
So I'm joined here by Tristan Ward. How are you, Tristan?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good, man. Good. You're ready to and pumped, ready to drop some big bombs on these cane toads tonight, mate?
Oh, yeah. A little bit apprehensive as it's Zwift, and Zwift is hard, but very motivated.
Nice. And tell us a little bit about yourself, mate. I noticed you're in the Bridge Lane kit there. You're obviously part of that team.
Yeah, I was very lucky to get a contract with them, Benelong. So it's my third year this year with that outfit. You know, the history of the team is amazing. Very privileged to be on it, and it's still the best team in Australia. So it's a very cool place to be.
Awesome. And you've had a couple of big results in the past. Now, tell me what is coming up if and when we get racing again. What are the goals up the road the next 6 to 12 months?
Just to win. Doesn't matter if it's a clubby, an NRS race, or a UCI tour. Just to win it.
Yeah, awesome, mate. And everyone out there, watch Tristan absolutely smash it up tonight. And his quote: "If you ain't first, you're last." A straight up Ricky Bobby quote. So we love that, and we'll see you out there, absolutely ripping and a tearing, mate. Good luck.
Cool. See you out there.
Righto, we have got Nick Pedler here from Balmoral Cycle Club in Queensland, mate. Welcome along, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You look pumped, man. You look pumped. Bring the heat. Bring the energy. Are you excited?
Yeah. Little 3-hour ride this morning on the road bike. Plenty to think about, but it should be a very short little 14-kilometre race today. I expect to be flat out, so I'm getting excited for it.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard FTP hit out, mate. That is for sure. So if you can smell that, Nick, we just had Tristan Ward on, and that's the fear. It's just coming through the camera. He's from New South Wales. The fear is there, mate. So are you going to hand it to the cockies tonight? Are you going to hand it to them?
Oh, I know Tristan Ward from the mountain bike days. He's good to sit behind just before the sprint. He's got a couple of watts on him, so that'll be the plan again tonight.
I think I just heard you say he's a dolly. And we'll just, I think I just heard, I'm reading between the lines there, mate. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, mate. Just a quick snapshot. You like the dirt in the past?
Yeah, I'm 21 years old, born and raised Queensland. Used to race a fair bit of mountain bikes. Did mountain bike world champs as a junior in 2016 in the Czech Republic and 2017 in Cairns as under 23. And sort of just moving towards the roadside just this last sort of 12, 18 months now.
So would you call yourself a retired mountain biker?
Oh, I don't have a mountain bike at the moment. I'll actually pick it up from a mate's place that's getting built up tomorrow. So maybe retired.
We like new bikes, mate. What's the build? What type?
It's just a little Focus mountain bike. So it's kind of a cross-country trail bike build.
Sensational, mate. Sensational. And do you enjoy your Zwifting? Do you get on the platform all that much?
Yeah, I actually only started about a year ago. I broke my wrist in a mountain bike crash. Yep. And I couldn't ride outside. So what do? You just go inside and ride on Zwift. And I got really hooked on it. Just enjoy the racing and the training side of it.
Good on you, mate. It's a bit like the Matty Heyman story when he broke his collarbone and jumped on and went out and raced the Para-Roubaix and did okay, mate. So, look, mate, from a coach to an athlete, not that I coach you, but I'll claim you. Good luck tonight and go really, really hard. And, mate, rip in and don't leave a watt on the table.
Yeah, it's good just before bedtime so you can just crash on the floor and call it a night.
You should be asleep by 2 a.m. Good stuff, mate. And thanks for coming on.
That's all right. Thanks for having us.
Now, with a name like Pedler, Tim, if he is not in that front group, there's something going on. Even though he's a Queenslander, what a nice young man.
Yeah, has good cadence, Pedler. Has great cadence. Kappa's given us a lot of clips.
I've been roasted already twice.
We got producer in here telling us to just get on point. So let's get on point, mate. We're going to have a look at this course and give everyone a little bit of an insight as to what they should be looking out for, Greg. So, let's
she
start
looks
with that.
like, when you look at it just on a piece of flat paper, she looks like as you said in the interview there, Tim, a little bit of a dolly, but certainly not. The first 2Ks of this course is straight uphill. You get a little reprieve downhill when you take that right-hander. Then there's a com. The com hits up at 15%, and all sorts of things are going to be going down when we hit that last section.
Yeah,
So
let's have a look
let's
at
have
the
a look.
ride-through that I generously did a ride-through and set the cameras up and everything. So this is exactly what's in store for tonight. We'll get through this little bit of a clip. You like that, Greg?
Beautiful.
You like that, mate? Okay, so they'll roll out. They're going to take a hard right. Now, this is already it's on. You're going to see attrition right now. 3-4% for a couple of Ks. That stretches the legs. I couldn't keep up with A grade.
You got dropped.
I
You
was
got
busted.
fried.
No, I wanted clean road, mate. Clean road. I gave the head wobble. So you can see there, 12.6 down, 4% top right. Look for that elevation if you are for the first time. And if you're watching for the first time as coaches, we really try and educate through the broadcast as well. So stick around for that. They're going to take a hard
That's
right-hander,
gonna hurt.
Greg, here, and they start to get a bit of relief now.
Yeah, a bit of relief, and you'll start to pick up a bit of Tim and Kappa's animals, a few sheep and a few cattle here as you go through the backside of Yorkshire, the World Champs course as well. And this is a flat section, not too hard, but that string out in that first 2K is going to hurt. We hit this right-hander here, bang, straight up. 2% again.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you will also see is some attacks. You'll definitely see early attacks, particularly tonight, and that's big downhiller here. So if you do this reverse, that really hurts. So the big downhill, it's nice and fast. Teams start to get coordinated here in the KOA Sports League. And boy, oh boy, do we have some teams in. Things start to get really interesting. Maybe some lowering of heart rates, getting ready for, of course, the Yorkshire Com coming up in a couple of kilometres' time, and that is a deal breaker.
Oh, yeah, that's where you need to hang on to those bars real tight. You get this downhill, bang, left over the
Here we go.
bridge, straight up 6, 7, 8, 9% as you come up this climb. It isn't that long, but, geez, it's going to break this field to pieces.
There's a tiny bit of relief on this climb, which we all appreciate. Right there at that roundabout, it just comes away to 3%. A little chance to maybe knock it down by a couple of beats per minute, but then it's on like Donkey Kong, 8-7% up this com, and you are absolutely hurting to stay on. You try and get back onto the group that you want to get back onto. Down through Millionaires Row, of course, here, Greg, they've modelled your neighbourhood beautifully. You take the left-hander, and of course, Greg, the infamous finish line.
Yeah, so really iconic finish line here. We hit the right-hander a little bit further up the road. We hit this, there's the sprint comp. So first, just to jump back, there is 2 power-ups in this course as well. So hopefully you get the ones you need. And then you're going to come through down towards this finish line. It flattens out a little bit. As soon as you hit this right-hander at the end, you are going to see on the left-hand side the Zwift Brew House coming up any minute. And here it is there, bang. That straight uphill to the finish, 10, 11, 12%, flattens out there and a couple of 100 metres up to the line.
It's a nasty, it's like the volcano finish that we see where you think you've got it nailed, where you think you've got it skun, and you've just gone a little bit too early. So this is the thing about Zwift racing, is that experience that comes through. So there are some incredible riders out there in terms of talent on the real road, but do they understand the game itself, of course, and the platform and the little bits and pieces with power-ups? So, Greg, speaking of riders,
oh my God,
let's
here
have
we
a
go.
look.
So I am representing Team New South Wales tonight, and I'll take up the banter as the head coach there, and I'll channel my inner Tommy Rodonigus. He used to smoke a packet of darts a day, he probably still does, and drinks a few cans of Tui's New. So first rider we're going to highlight is a man out of New South Wales, Mr. Daniel Gandy, an under-19 rider, 177 centimetres tall, 64 kilos, and look
He's
at
a
that
beast.
TT position
Oh my
if you
goodness.
don't mind. A trackie representing Queensland there, 2019 New South Wales Elite Cyclist of the Year. He's been racing in
Shut
real
the
life
gate.
up in China as well, doing continental races with the St. George Continental team. Took part in the 2020 Under-23 Australian Championships down in Adelaide as well, and did a great job there. So I am looking forward to Daniel absolutely smashing it tonight. So we're going to stay with me. It was a little bit different than normal, and I'm going to jump to our second athlete
love it.
we're going to highlight, and one of our female athletes, an absolute beast out of New South Wales, Emily Watts. What a name, by the way. Emily Watts.
Yeah, she wouldn't have heard that before.
Unbelievable. And female out of New South Wales, 183 centimetres tall. That's as tall as me. That's taller than both of you put together. 63 kilos. Oh, my God. So new to Zwift Racing is Emily. 17 races in. She is already taken out the chockies 3 times with 2 bronze podium positions as well. So look out for her. She's a member of the Sydney Uni Velo Club. Most recently, she completed, if you don't mind, only a few days ago, she Everested on Zwift, if you don't mind doing that. So That's about 7 I don't minds, you don't minds already tonight. So I'm going to cut that back. Otherwise, I'll get a clip from Guerrera. You'll give me a clip on the way through. So Emily also took part in the Zwift Academy in 2019 and did a phenomenal job there. So good luck to Emily, and we look forward to following her progression through the series. Over to you, Tim.
I can still smell the fear, Greg. It comes through strong. It comes through very strong. Here we go, Madison Taylor. Look at that camera, just really lose focus there. And we'll come right back in. Here we are, Madison Taylor, one of the great Queenslanders. And so I've heard, of course, so I've heard. Now, we take a little bit of the horse racing vernacular here. Not, of course, we're dealing with horses, we're dealing with humans. But we've got the last 10 starts. So the last 10 starts, we've had 3 placings. We've had 3 second placings there. She's competed recently in the SRAM Send It series back in 2019. Got some really solid results there. We went back through there and did our research, and most recently set a new FTP in the Richmond Classic race and has a massive engine. We're saying that potentially Madison will go early. That's what we're expecting, and some of her form would suggest. So good luck to the great Queenslander, Madison Taylor. We're going to jump across now and look at the young man, Byron Davies. You want beast? This guy is beast. Greg, his quads are bigger than me.
That's probably that's actually a fair assessment.
He's legitimately.
It's a fair assessment.
He's legitimate. I'd like to see him run a marathon though. Anyway, so under 20, this bloke, 194 centimetres. What are they feeding kids these days?
He wouldn't fit in the studio, Tim.
91 kilos, absolute monster. 8 races. He's won his last start. He's a track cyclist, but get this, people, get this. He's recently set a record of 1 minute and 2 seconds for the kilometre at the Straight Track Championships. Wow-wee, in the words of the great BT. He's gone 6th before in the KOA Sports race, such is the level. Welcome back to Byron Davies. And, mate, good luck and do us proud. Now, stick around for a second. We're just going to take a couple ads, but don't go too far, because in about 90 seconds' time, you're going to see one of the great coaching deliveries by my good self.
Oh, yeah, geez, here we go. It's Origin time, mate versus mate. Cockroach versus Cane Toad. Australia's biggest sports rivalry. We're looking forward to another edition tonight. But as you can see in my jersey, let's go the Blues. Back in 1982, the likes of Mortimer, Price, Sterling took on Meninga, Lewis. Lewis, that's right, the guy that used to read the news. Actually, I think he still does. Anyway, rivalry continued right through. 30 years later, we still hate each other at this time of the year. We're really looking forward to seeing the Blues march and stomp all over the Cane Toads tonight. So if you're a Blue out there, here's what you do. If you can drop one, drop one. If you can smash a Cane Toad, smash a Cane Toad. It's time for the Blue Baggers to stand up and take the chockies.
Many of you will be too young to remember, but I remember the days, the mid-80s. the great Wally Lewis, Alfie Langer, Lang Park, Heaving Maroon, Queenslander. Harrogate is your Lang Park tonight. Let's be honest. We all lost a little bit of interest during the noughties. 8-0. We like a contest, so we've given New South Wales a bit of a turn. But that stops now. It's our turn. We take it back. Stuff those mangy cockroaches. What have they done for Australia lately? The Ruby Bloody Princess. This is bigger than the state. This is for Australia. Why the hell would anyone want to wear pale blue? Pale blue, you just look sick. So come on, Queenslanders. It's time to isolate those cockroaches more. Make them feel cold. Make them feel lonely. Nobody likes them. Nobody. So when the hurt comes through to the legs and you're trying to find those extra watts, think of the great Queenslanders. Wally Lewis, Steve Irwin, Clive Palmer, Kevin Rudd. Queenslander, you can do it!
Right, well, that'll do me. Kevin Rudd, Clive Palmer, you are absolutely joking. And what about this? 1982, you weren't even born.
Hey, I remember the days vividly, Greg.
yeah,
vividly.
here we go.
I am a Queenslander
Here we go.
from way back. 3 minutes and 37 seconds to go. Now we've got special insight here. Special insight down into the New South Wales locker rooms.
Here we go.
Let's go have a look at the pre-race warm-up, see what the athletes are up to right now. And you'll see bottom left that pop up in just a second. There's the New South Wales boys getting ready, just struggling to get through that push-up. Oh, he's just... No, he just can't quite get it done. Next week,
He's been lifting Queensland financially for 27 years, this bloke. He's still doing his best.
But let's go have a look down at Queensland's locker rooms, and I think there's going to be... look at that,
Here
mate.
we go.
Look at that. One-handers just banging through it.
Juiced up more than a Gold Coast weekend,
Just
these blokes.
banging it through the push-ups, mate. And speaking of which, we saw a family relationship breakdown, which was a bit of a sad, but we understand that they have mended. But let's go have a look at young Aidan Sinclair and what's going on there. And then, of course, the great Ben from Cycling in Queensland.
Queenslander, come on boys!
What are you doing? You're watching your last success? Yeah, that was all the way back in the last decade.
Mate, what are you wearing? You are a disgrace. Mate, you come from a Queensland family.
New South Wales all the way.
Mate,
Up the cockies.
yeah, go and get on your bike.
Yeah, I'm not Hey everyone, I'm Aidan Sinclair. I'm from Newcastle, New South Wales. I race for Oliver's Racing on the road. Join me in racing the Cycling State of Origin Series. Brought to you by KOA Sports. Let's give it to the Cane Zone.
Mate, I thought you were supposed to be grounded. What the hell are you doing? You got no chance against us,
I'm actually
mate.
on the bike. Come on.
Mate,
Actually,
look at
come
him,
on.
man.
Come on.
Go the Queenslanders! Queenslander! Guys, mate.
Hi everybody, I'm Ben. I'm from Unicycling Club here in Brisbane. Looking forward to taking part in the inaugural Cycling State of Origin that's coming up shortly. There's A grade right through to D grade, so for all the different levels there's an opportunity for you too. There's some prizes I believe that be part of it as well. So kit yourself up in something red or maroon, whatever Queensland kit you've got. Chuck out whatever blue you've got, you won't need that. Let's burn some cockroaches' legs and send them out the back of the bunch as fast as we can and leave them all behind. So jump on board everybody, have a bit of banter while you're at it, and good luck. See you on there.
Righto, 1 minute out, and I hope Mr. Queensland there's put a bit of a warm-up in Tim.
Kappa, you could have fixed his sound.
Mate,
you had me doing how much stuff today?
Now, hang on. Hello to Kappa, just before we drop the curtain. How are you going, mate?
Good. I've been doing my research.
This will be good.
You know, because I'm an avid sporting fan,
Sporting
so
nut.
you know I've been looking into it.
You got a question for him?
I've got some stats on the quarterbacks and and the running backs and stuff. So I've just been doing my homework on how the game's played.
One question before we drop the curtain here, and this race is going to be on like nothing else. Benny Elias, one of the greats out of New South Wales, was done for a bit of fighting and a bit of biting through his time. I actually ran into him one day just flipping a few $1,000 notes at the tab, actually. So, Benny Elias, Kappa, what position did he play?
Quarterback.
Right, on with the race. That'll do.
10 seconds, 10 seconds to go. A lot of New South Wales kit. We can see they're in the all blue. We've got a lot of KOA Sports and a lot of Queensland kit
Here we go.
as well. Here they go out of the gates, Greg. I'll try and catch some races.
Huge bombs being dropped straight out of this to see some New South Wales numbers there straight off the front. And we are going to get a real good read here when we hit this right-hand turn and see how many riders have joined us in the KOA Sports League, slashing up with the State of Origin this morning. I see Reese Howell in there. And 304, if you don't mind.
Thank you very much, people.
In a private, verified race. So every single one of these athletes has given us access to their race data and their training data. So this is great to see, and nothing like a bit of great integrity around the esports racing world. So great to see. And this is the right-hander here, guys, where we are going to start to see this thinning right out real quick. So this is going to start to kick up at 4%. Over to you, Tim.
Let me give you the tip, Kappa. Do not come back to my screen because my computer has exploded.
Had a meltdown.
Now, there's a little bit of plastic on the floor. No, there isn't. But let's hope that catches up. So let's go through, Greg, because there will be people tuning in going, what the hell am I looking at?
What is this?
So what the hell are you looking at? So let's go through that, Greg. So top left, let's try and get a rider with all their data. Let's stay with O Marshall so long as they can sit in here.
Yeah,
Greg.
Over to me. So I'm on the
mate.
blue box today. So you'll see the first big number there, 433 with the W next. That's the watts pushed at the moment. The RPM is the cadence. So how many times a minute those pedals are flicking over in that pain cave. And then the big number here, Tim, 180 beats a minute. The heart rate there as he already Marshall there, New South Wales A grade, 180 beats a minute. We'll go to the top white box with you, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. We love the top white box because that, of course, is Greg's favourite. So you got current speed there of the peloton just hooking along at 41 kilometres an hour. 1.2 kilometres done as they start to work their way up. You'll see, especially on Harrogate, that blue number there, 25, 26, it basically doesn't stop going up.
Keep going up.
There's a lot of punch in such a short course, and time elapsed there at 1:48. And then I think really importantly, that top right box there that you'll see, Greg.
Absolutely. Now, the top right box is the little map that we like to refer to. The dot there is where the riders are at the moment. The rider we're following, we're going to highlight him in a minute. That is a man by the name of Nick Schultz, and that's where Nick is right at the front of that group.
He came in.
And, we can see the checkered flag there is the COM. The green spot is the sprint point, and the last section there will be the finish. So, Kappa, I'm going to throw over to you for a minute.
Schultz,
and I want you to tell us about Sergeant Schultz, and a man that is a professional athlete based in Europe.
Sergeant Schultz, eh? Yeah. So Mitchelton Scott rider, 25 years old, and he's done some pretty big races, mate. Second at the Sun Herald Tour last year. He's done the La Volta in Spain. He's did what I did when I turned 18 and moved over to Europe to follow his dreams. So he was a cyclist clearly in France. He lived in Spain before deciding he wanted to come back here and give it a crack with the Aussies.
Yeah, unbelievable rider, and great to see him. It's probably about midnight where he is in the world at the moment. So good luck to Nick, holding on to some of the bigger names in Zwift. And I can see those names in that group. I can see West, Vyassen, Smith. They're all in there. And Tim, I'm just going to cross to you right now because we won't cross screens because the whole thing might fall over. Yep. But you are following a lovely young lady at the moment.
I've got Vicky Whitelaw here, so nice little ride on bomb. So you'll see little blue thumbs pop up from time to time. That's how you can give your fellow rider a bit of a ride on bomb. And we've got a 1 second. We just see things start to stretch out. They've already through this. Jeez, they are absolutely flying. I don't think we've ever covered that much ground that quickly. You see ride on bomb, some power-ups. We're going to go through power-ups a little bit, but we're going to stick as much with the action tonight because this front pack's big. I would have actually expected to be almost a little bit smaller. And Vicky Whitelaw coming down the hill at the moment as well. So she's hanging in there beautifully. Greg, you can go through some of what she has achieved,
Yeah,
because
an
very
absolute beast.
experienced, not only on the road, but in Zwift.
Oh my God. So first of all, 5 consecutive Women's World Championships representing the great country of Australia. 2019 Esports Australian champion and winner of many, many Callis Cup races over that series as well. So great to see Vicky in the field, and we will be looking to highlight a lot more of the female athletes as we roll through the series as well. So good to see our little man on his scooter in there. He's at the 3-wheel trike, Aidan Sinclair.
Lionel's off the front.
Lionel absolutely busting it off the front, and Lionel Vyasin has just lit this race up. 8.2 watts a kilo, if you don't mind. That's number 10 on that statement. So he's put 4 seconds back into Marshall, Shields, Mears, and a whole heap of others in
making
that
a statement. Lionel Vyasin, he
Bit of
is
TV
a
time.
world-class rider, number 2 in the world of Zwift currently in all the Zwift Power rankings, and just an all-round nice guy. Not sure about the avatar head. Madsen there just trying to respond. He's put 5 seconds back now at 6.2 watts per kilo. We don't know whether this is any sort of coordination, because you will see in the KOA Sports League, teams are very, very well organised. So you get people going up the road, putting a cork in packs, all those sorts of things. Things that happen on the road happen here in e-cycling. So, look for a lot of that. We've got a lot of blue jerseys there up front as well, which is not great to see, and I hope they have some IT issues.
Over to you, Kappa.
I've got a question for you guys. So,
No.
obviously, Zwift racing is, fairly similar to real life, right? But do you think people like Lionel have the slight advantage over these pros?
I think he's very experienced, and he will know the course inside out. He only did the Zwift Classic race not too long ago, Kappa, only a few days ago. So great question. He will be the likes of him, West, probably a few other guys in there as well. Definitely will have the wood on the professional athletes.
Geez, they're moving fast. They've already covered 4.5 kilometres, and we've still got Vicky Whitelaw back here, just sitting only about, I'm going to say, only about 25 seconds off this front pack. They're just starting. You can almost see them back there in the distance. So very, very talented rider. And of course, Vyasin there coming back to the back of the pack. In amongst there is Aidan Sinclair, who we saw pre-race. Let's give some shout-outs. Seedling, Cridlin, McAuliffe. We all love shout-outs. Galambos, Collar, and I think Alex West is in there from Canyons ECC. There he is right there, Alex West. And of course, welcome along to Nick Schultz from Mitchelton Scott. Here comes that long downhill, 13%. Nice time to get in that aero tuck position.
Big aero tuck, and what that means is that you have stopped pedaling. So, you can see little green man on the left-hand side there. That will be the young man out of New South Wales, Mr. Sinclair, and he's pretty much rolled right through to the front of that group with a great aero tuck on that downhill. Get a quick drink in, guys, because this is going to get lit up before you know it.
Yeah, 100%. Great. And of course, Kappa, let's go back and have a look at Vicky Whitelaw now, just to give you a little bit of an indication. We'll try and make that jump. They're just coming downhill at the moment. We'll see how that runs through. And 2 Zwifts at the moment in Australia. If you haven't noticed, the 4G network is not coping well with work from home at the moment. That's a really nice view. We'll just go with that. There they come downhill at the moment. So nice little pack there. I can see some KOA Sports athletes mixed amongst there. Alex Tolman, Jolie Eby on his way to Kona. Some little attacks in there as well. Wechrend, Aristol, Elzenki out of Cyprus.
Very good group.
Ari, welcome back, mate, and good to see you out there in the race amongst 304 others. And we'll scoot on back up, but we're definitely going to stay with Vicky Whitelaw for the finish, because they're probably going to be about 90 seconds behind the NSC. Here's Credlin in there, Wilson, Richert, C. Price, and Britton.
Yeah, so huge front pack. Down to 64 riders, though, now, so starting to thin it right out. This is an absolute humdinger of a course for racing on. It certainly thins them out real quick. There's Daz Carter in there, Team BRT. He'll be streaming along at home as well, and good to see Daz in the field, and T. Ward in there. We've got Conway in there from New South Wales, and I see Nick Schultz still flying that maroon flag in the middle of that main pack as well.
Got some Team Relentless in there.
Huge team. Eight in the field tonight with Team Relentless, and good to see a few of the Team Aero joining us tonight, as well as I just see another gentleman that joins us every week, Mr. Rapp, off the back.
KOA Sports Podcast now available on iTunes and Spotify. If you have listened to some of the action before on Zwift Community Live, Zwift Live, wherever it may be, we just sat down with Nathan Guerrera, who gave us a clip for pronouncing his name wrong for about 3 years. And we sat down with him. We've had Johnny Paulson of Black Sheep Cycling, great Australian company. Brenton Ford, great swimming company, because cyclists love to swim, not. And heaps of other content on there, Training Peaks content, Metro metrics, coaches that think they know what they're talking about. So check out the podcast, download it now, subscribe, rate and share if you like it. Jonas Rapp in there, Vyasen there. You see his avatar there in the aero tuck right now. Everyone's up. Vyasen's down.
Having a breather.
See there, so that's gameplay right there. He knows exactly what he needs to do to his avatar to make it do that and just get freewheeling. He's doing nothing on the trainer.
Same as you've got a few in there at the back of that group. They'll just roll through this group now.
Look at that right now. So Vyasen, if we could pick him up, very difficult to do for Kappa, and he'll probably have a brain melt. And so we'll see that. But he's just dropping his heart rate. Why? Because they're about to start the comm, Greg.
Absolutely. They're going to take this left-hander now, and then bang, this is going to be right on now. Good to see Daniel Gandy still holding in that front group as well, Tim, as they came around that corner. Now watch Vyasen now. He'll roll to the front of this group, and these guys will start to lay it down. He's got his teammate Westy in there, and they always try and work together, those two riders.
Yeah, watch and learn here, watch and learn. But will they save a little bit of it? McAuliffe there, 7.2 watts per kilo.
Westy.
And Westy responds there, 8.5. I'm not having any of that. Westy comes to the front and says, we're going to control this front group. Canyon ZCC, that is. So Westy here, controlling the front, 8.7 watts per kilo, 626 watts, and 175 beats per minute. That's going to get into the 180s by the time he gets to the top of the Yorkshire comm.
Absolutely. These two just rolling it up this comm now. 7.5 watts a kilo coming from the chasing pack. And once we spin around and have a look back at this field, it's going to be blasted apart. Nick Schultz there, 1 second back, pushing 7.3 watts a kilo. There's the group just behind him. 1-2 seconds back, but thinning right out like a good piece of pasta. So these guys definitely... Well, you've got to thin your pasta out, Tim. So
this is the respite there.
Few power-ups being burnt up now. So this is a little tiny break. Schultz will come across.
Smart by Schultz
see an
there.
Attack here.
Draft bus being played there, so he's going to roll up through. I'm going to have this comment, says Schultz. I'm going to have none of that, says the Sarge. So he rolls on through, and he'll get a few more rolling on through. Wow, this group's still pretty big.
It's thinned out a lot.
Goodness gracious me, it has. But I think that most of them might come back together. Schultz here coming across the top, 8.5 watts per kilo, holding it beautifully at nearly 600 watts and 179 beats per minute. Lionel here in third position. Of course, we've got McAuliffe there responding well. New South Wales A and Queensland A
head-to-head.
Off the front, head-to-head here.
Against McAuliffe. So I wonder if that's Sean's son. Sean, very funny comedian out of New South Wales. So good to see McAuliffe and Schultz off the front here. Schultz is going to roll over and take those comm points and take his next power up.
Will McAuliffe have any of that? Will he just come up on the inside? No, let Schultz have it. Of course, the Mitchelton Scott rider. Look out for him in the tours later.
Check out the heart rate though, Tim. He's working hard. 180 beats a minute from a professional athlete is very solid, but he's a young man, so we'll take that into consideration as well.
He'd have plenty. He's going to be hard to beat. Some of the comments throwing through here on Facebook, of course. There's some great ones in here. Welcome along to Josh Hill and Andrew Grief and Steve Daly as well. So plenty of comments. Keep them running through. Plenty of positive feedback, and give Greg the massive clip along the way.
Yeah, so just checking in on Zwift Live, we have only got about 5 minutes left in this event. Unbelievable. 17:25 they're predicting as a finish time. That is absolutely amazing as they go around here. And there is definitely those power-ups being used. Still see Sinclair that just might have a little break back now to a second group. So Cridlin from New South Wales A still sitting. There's that gap. Look at that. So Hat's still coming up. They're going to have to work real hard. Nick Schultz just rolls back to the back, gets to the car, grabs a sticky bottle, and rolls back into the group as well.
Now, the type of finish this is, Greg, you're going to need a lot of experience. We've got Sinclair in there, very experienced Swift racer. Vyasen, who we've spoken about, rolling through the front. Alex, very experienced. Schultz knows the game. A couple of relentless riders as well. And some blues there rolling through to the front. 8-9% as it kicks up here on Millionaires Row.
Yeah, look at Messineo still in that group too. He's always a regular in that front group. We've only got about 10 athletes left now. There's a 2-second gap back. These guys behind are really going to have to get together and bring it back.
And of course, what we do like to do, they are going to come back together. So we do call the first finish, but what we always do is we try and roll back and call at least 2 or 3 finishes through. Try and grab. So it's not, as much as we love the big numbers, we love the effort and we love the intensity of everybody.
The groups come back, Tim. The groups come back. So great to see those guys work their bums off to get back into that group. And now we've got about 15 riders in that group and still the big hitters in Zwift racing in that main pack. And Coleman there, the Queensland rider, just coming back to the group as well. That's great to see if you're one of those bloody cane toads. But still see good smattering of blue and maroon in that front group along with some big international names.
Come on, Queenslanders. You're going to have to dig deep here and find that extra gear. There's too much blue in this front pack, and I don't like it.
If you're watching at home, this is what you need to do when you do this. Cattle dog! And if you've watched a bit of rugby league, you'll know what I'm talking about.
That sounded horrific. Cattle Yuri, you okay?
Yeah, my ears are bleeding.
That's great.
Good.
That's
good.
You
That's
saw
good.
and I saw
He's awake.
Levaquis in there as well, of course, sporting that French flag, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely. So not too far to go now. This is just the sprint section, obviously not the end of the race. So picking up their last power up here, you probably want a feather for the finish.
Yeah, and of course, if you are watching going, how can I get involved? Well, it's 3 rounds of the State of Origin. We've got the KOA Sports League point system kicking off next week. There's plenty of ways. I love Greg. Why I love this, it's free.
Absolutely.
It's free. Of course, if you've got a Zwift account, it's free. So it's free. Got FOMO? Join now. www.koasportsleague.com.
Tim will be waiting to hear from you.
Oh.
So here we go. Queensland athlete now, just pressing it off the front again.
It just impressed on me New South Wales people complain too much.
Oh, that's where all the complaints came
They're just
from, wasn't it?
all cattle dogs.
Yeah, some of my mates, I made
Cockroaches.
sure they sent through some good stuff there. So
Feedback.
we got Rap still in that front group. This is all going to come down now to that right-hander past the Zwift Brewhouse, which was a highlight of the World Champs in 2019 in Yorkshire.
Over 540 people watching live. That is sensational. Thank you for coming along, and make sure you share out there. Plenty of content. The more the merrier. See Wilson in there. Conway. Will we see an early attack? Greg Viarson. West Cridland. Here we go. They're rolling around there in the Oliver's kit. Some blue as well. Levaquis, Taylor, Cycles, Cridland and West.
Yeah, there's no sitting around in this front group, and they've definitely seen Coleman there still at 9.4 watts a kilo just to stay in the group. So not too far to go now, about 2 minutes. They take this right-hander. They're going uphill again at 2%. This is where you're going to start to see some action. These guys are going to absolutely rip this up, and Nick Schultz has had a big rest in that main pack after his early attack.
8.3 watts per kilo there. I think we see off the front there, just going up at 6%. Conway there, 8.9 watts per kilo just to stay in the pack. McAuliffe, 9.3 watts per kilo. How many matches are they burning in just 20 minutes of hard racing?
Go Blues.
2 Blues roll to the front. That's not a good look. I don't like it. Pale blue is a horrible colour.
Let's go Conway, off with the Blues, straight off the front, 7 watts a kilo. McAuliffe's starting to respond at 9 watts a kilo as well. 1K to go, not too far now. These guys are ripping through Yorkshire like it isn't even there.
Little gap there. Just a little gap opens up. They'll close it down though. Harrigan, 8.9 watts per kilo, brings the group back across. Final kilometre, 16 minutes. Never seen anything like it in my life. They're going to take the hard right-hander very, very soon. We haven't gone past the brew house yet. We're going to have a little tipple as we go past.
Absolutely. We'll be having a little tipple after, Tim. I've got a couple ready to go. So here's, you can see the big squirrel in the corner. Here it comes now, Tim. Call them home, 500 to go.
Oh, a long way to go though, Greg. We got a long way to go. We got to get over this little mountain that they just decided to put in the finish line.
It's a pimple for
Follow
these guys.
Viarson here. Will he go earlier or will he just sit back and respond? Here we go. 7-8%. You're going to see orange lights everywhere. 9.5 watts per kilo. They roll to the front now. Cridland takes the lead off Sinclair. We've got a feather power up played at exactly the right time. Good experience there. Moving on through Schultz on the outside. We're going to roll with Schultz now. He's gone to the front. I think he might have rolled too early. Here comes the attack by Viarson, and on the outside, of course, Messineo.
Yeah, Messineo now. Cridland up to him, and Viarson still hanging in there. Can see Westy still in that group as well. Just trying to get with these riders with Viarson at the moment. Messineo off the front. Here comes Viarson up to the line now. 14.3 watts a kilo from Viarson as he takes Messineo to the ground. Here comes Cridland back over the top. Messineo now over the top of Viarson. Here he comes up to the line. It's Messineo taking the chocolates, and Viarson just holding on for second. Thanks for your help there, Tim. I just missed it. And we're just going to jump back here. I'll call a couple more home while you sort out the next screen. But a few more rolling through. There's Dr. Rusty Devlin, if you don't mind, coming up to the line. 10 watts a kilo now.
Come on, Queensland.
Here he comes. 11 watts a kilo. There's still points on offer back in these other grades. Here comes Rusty, 9.4 watts a kilo as he rolls past about 27,000 riders.
A point for every finisher
through the finish. And, geez, that's a good stinger of a hill up there. We've only had 50 athletes home so far, so that really got blown apart. We're going to come back and have a look at the replay a little bit later on.
A little bit later, you're here with Jay Ricky here coming across the line. There's points for every finishers at the moment, so we're going to have a look at the replay now, or we're with Vicky Whitelaw at the moment, Kappa. So you're going to have to come over here and fly the drone, because I am horrendous at flying the drone. As you know, here comes Vicky Whitelaw up the finish here. She's off the front here in that main group. She's got her head down at 6% and doing 400 watts, if you don't mind. 182 beats per minute. Vicky Whitelaw in the pack here. We got, of course, we got Elias and Hurtlocker responding. All the Queenslanders, all the New South Wales got their heads down. A lot of B graders and A graders mixed in together here. A lot of points points still on the line, of
And
course,
then-
for every finisher.
Yeah, good to
Stevenson
see-
tries to respond.
Good to see Arinsky there too, Carl Sports athlete, still holding in that group too, Tim. We've got Roberts, Boy, and we're just starting to stick with Vicky Whitelaw. Look at this heart rate, Tim and Kappa, 188 beats a minute as she
Head
rolls
down.
up to the line. Here we go now, 7-8 watts a kilo from Vicky. She'll roll through 190 beats a minute on the heart rate, and well done to Vicky Whitelaw. I'm going to say that she was the first female home. We will
That's a big call.
we'll confirm that later, and I have been wrong before, but it's great to be able to track some of these ladies as they go around this course as well.
Yeah, I'm just trying to click back through the field. We'll try and capture one more finish in a second, but let's have a
0.5
look at the big finish here, Greg. So Messinino, you see him sitting about 3 out, 1 back, 4 wide.
That'll do,
And
mate.
we got Vyasen. So Schultz went a little bit too early on the
Yeah.
roll through. I don't know whether that's experience or what he had. So Vyasen here, you'll see his avatar puts his head down so you know he's dropping massive watts. Watch the numbers on the right-hand side. Messinio just ghosting him there off the front. He's actually on the front. He tucks in behind Vyasen at the
came
right time.
back. He
Found
came
it late.
back.
You
Yeah.
never see that second wave, Greg.
No.
You never see it. There he is now, just getting the free carry there. Comes up on the inside
Perfect
left.
power
and
up.
just the power up, of course, Greg. Great pick up there. The draft bust is what he needed. Vyasen had no power up. Empty pockets. Game over. Shut the gate.
Yeah, one of the great things to watch is some of these big Zwift athletes. You see those power-ups burn out with about 12 metres to go in the race. So great to see. What an amazing event. Now, if we can just go back, Kappa, and maybe have a look at a couple of other finishes. We're just going to leave the screen running, and I'm going to go through a few results when I can, Tim.
Yeah, while you go through some of those results, of course, for the if you are, of course, competing, and for Cycling Queensland and Cycling New South Wales, thank you very much for allowing us to put this on. We really, really appreciate it. So you'll need to work. You'll get the results from them. They're going to start to pull them together. There's a lot of riders for them to go through and work all that. So the State of Origin results live with them, and they will go through that, of course. And the KOA Sports League stuff, of course, just be members of this wonderful, wonderful league. So look out for that. Of course, we race hard for points starting, of course, next week. So we're going to do some soft results and put them up there. When I say soft, it's just a bit of a test. Maybe you've got a few things to sort out in the calibration department, maybe some heart rate monitor issues, things like that. Good time to replace that battery on the heart rate monitor. Greg, have you got any results
Just
there at
coming
the moment,
through
mate, or are
now.
they just
So
pushing through?
no, just coming through. And
I'll just keep patting while we check out some of these riders cooling down.
Yeah, we'll have a look at those. You look and smile there, Tim.
Oh,
Don't
thanks,
don't
mate.
pick
Just
your
leave me
nose.
hanging.
And just while you're waiting, mate, there's a
Cap,
well
am I
done
on, mate?
tonight. Well done tonight.
me off,
we
buddy.
can have that in a minute.
No.
So you got that
I
there,
don't
the
think we'll drink
4X.
on. I don't think I'd as much as I think the last beer I had was, I don't know,
Probably
maybe
at my
about
house.
a year ago.
Probably at my house.
But let's watch some of these
Righto.
riders go through some of the results. Greg.
Yeah, taking out the result tonight, the great time power up was the great Messinio out of Team ZF. Lionel Vyasen just got pipped on the post. He went past Messinio, and then Messinio came back over the top. That doesn't happen in too many races, I'll tell you. C-Ball there from Onyava Racing. I'm not too sure if that's correct. I'm very sorry. Jonas Rapp there in 4th place. In 5th place, possibly, it'll be confirmed in the results, but Cridlin from New South Wales taking out A-grade. Alex Kirchmere Racing in 6th. 7th place was McAuliffe taking New South Wales A-grade, 2nd place. And the first Queenslander home, Tim, was Nick Schultz in 8th place. He held on there, possibly went a little bit early, or he's done 400 Ks already today. C. Wilson from Team Relentless there in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 overall was Hats out of Team HAC, and great to see Hats in there as well. And what an amazing performance. Westy Byrne out there, 21st. Aidan Sinclair, 20th. Not too sure what happened there. They might have lined it up for Lionel. So back to you, Tim.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Thanks for the results, and you'll see a lot of that filtering through. Now, of course, if you've just watched and you want to get involved in the action, we've got racing all year long here on the KOA Sports League, and we've got verified the community race. By the way, if you're in Australian time, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. on the Zwift Companion app, you'll see that. Usually 300 or 400 riders in that one. Unbelievably stacked field, and an event after that, a private event at 9:45 a.m. That is Aussie time. Of course, Australian Eastern Standard Time. I always seem to stuff that one up. You can, of course, join the league for free. Thanks for everyone, by the way, I should say. So The verifications have been coming through. We've tried to genuinely get to as many as we can, so please, it has been a relatively big week. We've tried to respond to as many as we can. I know a few people missed out. I really genuinely apologise for that. We tried to cover as much ground as we possibly could, believe me. But after all, it is free. Greg, let's wrap it up, mate, and back to you, let's send it home.
Righto, so first up, World Under the Blue Baggers. Must have been the coach's talk that got you home tonight, so definitely took the chockies out there. 1-0 to the Blues. Can't see the Maroons coming back from here. Great to have everyone on board for the KOA Sports League. We're looking forward to tomorrow morning and cannot wait to go around again. If not, we'll see you next week on the Zwift Community Live platform as Tim cracks a tinny. I can hear it being, there it goes. The 4X is done, and I'll grab mine, guys. I've got the much better looking variety of beer, if you don't mind. So once again, thanks for joining us. Have a great night. Talk to you soon. Ciao.